Good evening, everyone. I'm welcoming Nusra Sahin today, and she's here with us. And would you like to say a couple of words, Nusra?
Thank you very much, Janice, for inviting me to your beautiful New Earth Visioning project. I'm so honored and very glad to be here with you at this time. It just feels exciting. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited. So let's start by just introducing you a little bit more to Nusra. She is originally from Turkey, where she studied Eastern and Western literature and graduated from Turkish literature and linguistics. She also was fascinated with quantum physics and researched quantum aesthetics in films during her master's course in communication studies. She immigrated to London, England, and began to write on consciousness. Since early childhood, Nusra was aware of a voice characterized by a unique vibration that felt loving. She began writing, connecting with the source in her 20s and recognized its frequency and vibration. Striving to know and build constant connection with the source of this voice, she discovered it was the voice of my source self, the authentic teacher who holds tremendous love, compassion, mastery, and authority. As Rumi said, it was the wordless voice. I learned that this voice was me. I accepted the direct training and guidance of my source self and kept my voice as my mentor. This decision was a big step in my training and in revealing my purpose on earth. Nusra now writes and offers workshops and practices to people interested in developing their multidimensional abilities and taking an active role in bringing forth the new earth. Her sources of information include Kuan Yin, various ancient masters, as well as archangels. Nusra's soul connection with Kuan Yin has been crucial in creating the multidimensional consciousness studies. Currently, she is working on creating the School of Multidimensional Consciousness to share techniques and practices and to share her knowledge with others. Last year, she also wrote the book, Multidimensional Consciousness and the New Earth, How to Master a Multidimensional Lifestyle.
Thank you very much for presenting, summarizing the work I do and my journey. Definitely, it was just like a transformative journey for myself, first of all. But on that journey also, you recognize what is the purpose within yourself. Like it comes out through in that journey, and it becomes a blessing for you, and you understand which parts are there to share with others. So this is actually what I was doing. Actually, this is what we are doing together. Sharing gifts, our purpose, the messages on that journey.
Okay, let's. I have just a couple of questions first.
Yes.
What do you mean by multidimensional consciousness?
Multidimensional consciousness is when we are connected with our heart space. We are not in our minds, in our everyday conditioned, everyday chat in our minds, like in this human conditioning, in this mind chatter. So sometimes people try to silence, empty their minds without connecting, exploring, or building that heart connection. So when you bring that heart connection and open up to your exploring this sense of self, at one point, with the right practices and techniques, you acknowledge that you are actually beyond who you think you are. You are a part of a consciousness tree. It is expanding in the higher dimensions, and on that journey, This is what multidimensional consciousness studies work on, to bring awareness into the multidimensional nature of the person. So we can build that awareness, this multidimensional awareness, that we are not just what the human persona manifesting on the earth plane in the collective reality. In that connected state of being, we understand that we are actually aware, and we can connect to these versions of ourselves that I call vertical incarnations, like our higher selves. And in that tree of life, in that you can explore how your abilities, how your wisdom, how your relationship unfold. It is like more multidimensional consciousness is bringing awareness into. There are some principles, of course, we created along the writing of the book and creating the education system around it. Multidimensional consciousness is that awareness that you are a multi-layered being, like a pillar of light or a light building of light, actually existing. And then in that fluid state of mind, once you are using the right alignment, right intentions, you can actually explore this higher and higher layers of consciousness. And in that journey, you work with yourself, within yourself, consciously, being aware of it. That is multidimensional awareness, multidimensional consciousness for me.
Having been in one of Nusra's workshops, she actually brings us to these different levels. It's amazing, these different levels of ourselves. You mention a lot in your book the source self. Can you explain that?
Source self is like a huge topic. I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. But of course, I will try to, bring an explanation to help others to understand what I mean. There are many different words describing same connection. We can say heart connection. We can say oneness. In the way I acknowledge it was, this source that I was connecting when I was writing to explore the wisdom within myself, like a personal time, meditative writing, whatever was coming out when I was writing in a connected way. As I started to connect with it within my heart space, that persona, that being, has turned into a kind of like a being, an awareness, a consciousness. Source self is what is within us as a being, as a wisdom, as an awareness. It is our mentor. It is higher self, and it is higher selves. It is the source. It is the one. It is you. So once you have that, of course, experiencing it would be the best way of the best way of talking about it. Just in the experience, it comes out. When we are connected to heart space and understand that it is all us, it is all within, bring that I am consciousness, as well as, whatever is there for us, within us. We are all source lights, but we are unaware. We are bringing awareness into who we are. All the descriptions layers are helping us to understand that. But in that heart space, just focusing on that light and building that communication brings that being, that self into existence, and say like, okay, now let's study together. It is like a complete trusting, understanding, hearing, opening ears, opening heart. Source self is where you connect with yourself, acknowledging that you are the source, and bring your relationship. There you create that source self connection.
Thank you. I believe I remember in your book that you characterized it as a pillar of light or something. Is that
Pillar of- Yes, pillar of light is something we use in our practices as well. Pillar of light is more like it is a good visualization of understanding that maybe you can connect it with your chakras, going up and up and up. This pillar of light is when we are, yes, this pillar of light is, we see it as a rising building, like a light building, but we also know that it is within our heart. And on that layers, we explore different layers, and we explore ourselves vibrating on these layers. And also we bring all that into our heart space and acknowledge it as a source self. So that pillar of light is more, maybe can be described, worded, because we are using words to just explain inexplicable concepts now. We are aware of it. This multidimensional, this pillar of light is more about multidimensional nature. The multidimensional self illustrated as a pillar of light. And when we bring that, know that it is all within and expanding in that way, that is kind of this deep connection to the source, and you acknowledge it as yourself and just be vulnerable, open, and communicative in that understanding. Maybe it explains better now.
Yeah, I get that that one needs to it's beyond words and thoughts, as we in our group we study and learn and understand in that respect. And this is beyond words and thoughts too. We have to feel it. Yes. Well, would you like to start just teaching us a bit?
Practicing, you mean?
Practicing, sorry, yes, practicing.
You can do a little bit practice and then invite the participants, whoever will watch later, can just kind of be part of that field if they wish to, and align with the energies.
Okay.
I can walk you through 10-15 minutes of heart opening maybe, and connection to that source as in the best way.
Okay, Nusra, bring us beyond words and thoughts. I know you can do it.
Okay, I'll try my best. Of course, it is the source, source light that will carry us, embrace us. We can do a little bit of practice and feel the energies, and then see what opens up without expectations. So for the group participants and everyone who is going to watch later, we set this intention to share this experience in the best way. We can start first with grounding, feeling this soles of our feet, and Mother Earth, this source of love, nurturance, compassion, willpower, free will. And then just feel Mother Earth. She is going through a transformation. She is all holding us, hugging us, healing us. She's sharing her journey with us. We are one. She's reminding us that we are one. We are together. She is us. We are her. In the creation of new earth, we are together. We are exploring that oneness. We are exploring that we are Mother. In that understanding, the project is fulfilling the purpose that we are growing, opening up to understanding who we are, remembering who we are. So with that intention, let's release roots to Mother Earth, and with these roots, connect with her on a deeper level, ground physical as a physical being. Let's feel our bodies, sense our physical presence. Feel the energy coming through your roots to your body. And with your intention, ask this Mother Earth energy to bring you, to connect you with the Earth grid and Mother Earth's energies. Feel that flowing through your feet, legs, and grounding you more, aligning your chakras. Feel your root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, crown chakra. Feel that energy is rising through all your chakra system and going up, and see it as a circling fountain-like energy moving through your being. And also let's feel that cosmic energy flowing through your crown chakra, coming down. This visualize this as a white Mother Earth energy. I visualize this as a golden energy. White light is coming, connecting us to cosmic consciousness, heaven, cosmic grid, bringing that energies and the wisdom, connecting us to the spirit. As this white energy come through your crown, third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, root chakra, and release it through your roots. And we visualize that it is circling back up like a fountain, other way around. Feel that these two energetic currents are blessing you, nurturing you, and aligning your chakras, bringing the most needed energies for you at this time. I will now activate the multidimensional consciousness field to just bring people into more alignment. This is a field of energy we use in our practices. And then ask people to go into their heart space and see this heart space as a temple. So bring that your attention flows down like a snowflake into your heart space. In that heart space, see that you have an inner temple. Bring your attention into that temple. Explore the space. You can visualize your little version of yourself, or you can see yourself as a light being, a being of light. Sit in your temple and just feel what is there. Feel your body in there. And give love to yourself. Give love to your heart temple and feel the love within your heart temple. Release all the fear, all the worries, all your expectations. Let it open up. Allow love to fill in to your heart temple. Heart is the gate to consciousness, to higher realms. Knowing that makes us more even excited and willing to open our hearts, because it is where it all starts. It is the highest inner ability to connect with heart. That heart connection we experience the source light, our true nature, that is love. Let your heart open. Give love to your soul, your oversouls. And I said, like, we are pillar of light. On this tree of life, in this pillar of light, we have so many layers of consciousness. You are an extension of a huge tree extending to existence as branches. So recognize that tree of life that is you. Bring that all into your being, your heart temple, your oversouls. This is what I call oversouls, your thicker and thicker branches, mother branches of your consciousness, your soul. Bring that all into that space. Let it adjust you, blend with you. We are not afraid of ourselves. We love ourselves. We are open to ourselves. We love their compassion. We enjoy their presence. Yay! We enjoy the joy of being who we are. And see that light is expanding in your heart temple and adjusting your energy frequency and consciousness, awareness into the right level for you to experience this. You are in surrender and trust. See all that united self this light being of yours is now more in union with the soul, with the oversouls, and recognize yourself is the light, the source light. See that light and make a step forward to understand, communicate with it. Say that I am you, you are me. I open my heart to your wisdom, intelligence. And in this temple, I would like to meet you, be in your presence, stay in this field and embody you, align with you, and recognize my authentic nature, who I am. Give your love to that union. Remember that state. Make a note of that state. And you can express your willingness. Dear my source self, my oversouls, my soul, my heart, I would like to communicate, collaborate with you and align with you more and more. I would like to embody this light and the wisdom coming with this light more and more. Please communicate with me. I open my heart. I release my fear. And I accept learning, studying, practicing with you. We'll just stay for 2 minutes in this state. If you have anything to express, you can. Receive the love and light We are not going to higher dimensional layers because it's going to be a short practice. This is just alignment and sensing the heart connection, the source self connection. This little practice, we can communicate, speak in this temple. And use that practice when writing, creating your projects, spending time with your family, your loved ones, because here you are in communicative, collaborative openness with that source light within you. Now we thank our soul, our all souls, our source self, the source light, for connecting with us. This heart temple is also has been blessed. Say thank you, gratitude for the support, for the experience, and then feel our physical presence. When we are ready, we open our eyes. So that was a brief example of how we build that connection, the communication, that state of oneness in our heart space. And then from there, once we are kind of reach at that sense of self, what we do in our practices that we start going into this exploration of the higher dimensional layers of consciousness, because in that field of multidimensional consciousness, it's like think about it as a portal, like a kind of opening a field. We are with our intention, we just from here, we start adjusting the higher frequency and vibrational layers and meet our spirit guides, teachers, and do some studies, practices in the higher layers of consciousness, higher dimensional consciousness. That is, in a way, helps us to learn better, process quicker, easier, because it is like we are kind of in elevated, heightened state and in a special ground, a field surrounding us as part of the multidimensional consciousness studies, the system. And then in that space, we find a chance to learn, study more. That is like how the system, multidimensional consciousness system we are sharing works. So it kind of brings that heightened state, and in that space, in that field we create, we are able to communicate, connect with our guides and receive certain information. And people call it activations. I don't, because it's just energetic fields. We are receiving probably like many activations, many blessings. It's like more about experiential. What is happening there, in that state of unitedness with the soul, higher self, the source self. This is how we work.
Thank you, Nusra. That was very powerful. Okay, so when we connect to our multidimensional consciousness, what does this do for us? How does it help?
Very good question. Actually, it is. We are multidimensional beings, first of all. So if I say that I am talking about something that is kind of unknown, that would be like against our nature. And I'm talking about what we are, who we are already. We are multidimensional beings. We are just unaware of it, you know. So of course, with all this shift happening, and we talk about higher frequency and vibration on Earth, we are opening up to this ability, this consciousness. We understand, we feel that there's more to us, who we think we are, as we get more and more connected. Multidimensional consciousness is when we bring awareness into this multidimensional being we are. We are here, we are there, we are there, we are there. So we are the human, we are the master, we are the Buddha, we are the source, we are the divine, we are the God, we are all the masters, we are all the archangels. It's like an extended sense of self in a way, because we are experiencing that Earth, being the planet Earth, being the cosmic consciousness. So it's like all embedded in our design. We need to just be aware. We first acknowledge that we are, wherever we are trying to get to, this is where we already are. So as the system we are bringing, not just as like a kind of techniques, but as also as the energetics, as like a portal, as a field, thanks to, you know, all this source spirit supporting these studies. So in that space, people are kind of finding the experience, the practices that in kind of sparking, igniting this awareness that, oh, wow, it's just that because we are bringing awareness into this, who we are, in the relevant setting, so people can hear it, experience it, and speak to themselves, speak to their teachers, speak to their soul teams, and find out what exactly they are doing and mastering on the higher layers. So that is like exploring, how am I manifesting on this dimensional layer, consciousness layer? How am I manifesting on this higher self-presence? What are my abilities on this level? What is here for me to learn? So this system is like, let's think about it as an elevator, a lift. In US, in UK, different words. It's like a consciousness is flowing in that fluidity, flexibility, that mind is opening, that heart is opening, the chakras are aligning. And then in that space, we go like, okay, is this me? Is this something I can do? How can I learn it? It's just like, because you are within yourself, you are making the journey to the higher consciousness, meeting your divine self on the halfway, wherever you are supposed to be in that system. So it's like, as we talk about ascension or enlightenment, we used to talk about enlightenment in the traditional path, and I see that it's like, it's not this enlightenment, but it's like more about, at the moment, authenticity is just more presented better, because in that awareness we are exploring who we are. That's like the creator consciousness comes in, that sense of self, abilities, the power, inner power. We open up to what is there already. That multidimensional consciousness system is not promising to become something huge or something enlightened, but it's saying that go within deeper and deeper, and an open space to just practice with it, communicate with it, and then see what is there. You are already, and there's nowhere to go. Let's bring awareness to it, and then how we can utilize it towards bringing our purpose.
Okay, I have a question from one of our members, Rebecca Whitecotton. What are some of the signs we can look for in our lives that would help us recognize we are coming into our multidimensional consciousness?
That's interesting. Sometimes experience that as like a kind of lucidity. But it is, I would say, everyone will experience it differently, I would say. But of course, there will be some characteristics that you are, instead of you are kind of in your mind, you are in your heart space. You feel that this sense of self is a bit more fluid. It's more like a bit of lucid, but at the same time you are functioning in a healthy way. If, of course, bringing that into your everyday life, let's say in the kitchen, maybe you don't want to be so fluid in the fluid perception. So I try to kind of bring that into my meditations, my writing, my practices, my creative projects, and then observe how it is also blending into my everyday life, step by step. Sometimes at work, sometimes I have a question and I would like to see it from a higher perspective. So I can connect with my heart, and I feel that heightened state of a higher view and kind of connection in like from as if looking at the issue from my higher self's eyes. And in some stages, I just feel, let's say, oh, I'm so, feel so desperate, like feel so hopeless. I feel, and then like no support. I'm this kind of, let's say, this kind of mindset. And I connect and open that field, and then remember this communication, the support I have in the tree of life, and then start a communication and bring it into my everyday life. That definitely uplifts me and shows me what I need to release, what I need to accept, transform, and what is there for me to see. If I didn't open up that multidimensional space, maybe I would learn it in different ways, reading about it. You know, of course, reading, researching will be always there, but it would maybe take more time for me to get out of that. This is so heart connection. Also, sending that inquiry into higher dimensional consciousness, and then being present to the guidance, using your own channels, your own being. Also, if you have the time, meditating, seeing yourself opening, going there and sitting with your own soul teachers, masters, guides, teams. So this can kind of be interplay, and everyone will experience it differently, bring it into their lives differently. This is something I should say. That's definitely a bit fluid mind, but it is like a kind of awareness that you tap in and tap out, see, kind of bring, learn how to utilize it for your best use to help you in your journey.
Okay, so it sounds like a much quicker way to get guidance and higher perspective and all that, besides reading 100 books. So that's good. That's one thing. Another question, this is from another person. What daily practices do you use to keep yourself in alignment with your multidimensional self?
I bring awareness into my connection as much as I can. Sometimes I see myself being in the mind space a lot. For example, I'm working on a project, I feel stuck, and I come back and connect with my heart space. And then in there, I feel that light growing, and then start a communication. And if I have time, I do like this 15 minutes, half an hour break times, just connecting to the field, because we have this cycle of multidimensional consciousness as a system for the students. They do the same. So they connect with this, with the school, the system, the portal, the field, and then align in that alignment. They meet, they communicate and study, practice with their teachers, their guides. So I do that kind of practices. My main practices would be, I call it like multidimensional conscious practice. I made it like a meditation. I do dancing. I do writing. That is also quite a powerful way for me still. Writing has been my almost like a spiritual practice all my life. Dancing also has a similar thing, that with the music, body movement, I can connect with the energy and connect with my higher and higher state, and then see, practice, learn in that state.
Okay, do you, another question from a person, what type of foods do you eat? Do you do anything like that in your self-care to keep yourself in connection?
Nature, walking in nature. I love swimming, and so that water connects, helps me feel, cleansed, fresh. Definitely, I try to take off times, like rest times, and before bed, I try to keep away from digital world and come back into my heart space, connect with the higher self, source self, bring that connection, bring that communication, and to hear. That is important. I keep saying communication, but maybe it is not clear. When I communicate, I go like, do I have, is there any message for me? Is there any practice for me? Is there any task for me? Is there any role for me? Any guidance for me? So it's like that kind of checking in with my tree of life. I'm just checking it with my collective being. So I just see what is in there, what is there for me to, like, at the end of the day, or for tomorrow, or for my spiritual purpose, soul purpose. After that, it's just I feel kind of more balanced, grounded before sleeping, before going to sleep. And I was recently speaking to a friend and I was describing, maybe it is a good phrase to bring now. I think we should go into sleep like going into a temple, not just so exhausted, hoping that sleep is going to recover us fully and energize us fully. Before bed, we should, I try to bring that kind of balanced groundedness and feeling wholeness. Not always, of course. I sometimes, go crawling, but so we can wake up fresh and rest, care, nurture us through the sleep. That is something I specifically focus on. I don't use so many other stuff like incense or candles, oxygen, a bit of movement, more keeping healthy and a balance of well-being overall.
Two people asked this question. What is your process of intention setting?
Intention setting for me is like we did in the practice. We went, before we said like, okay, we talked to Mother Earth and said, dear Mother Earth, this is why we are here. You are going through this shift. We are growing, learning with you. We are creating this earth. We want to acknowledge you are us. So it was like a kind of speaking and bringing a framework, a concept to why you are practicing, why you are igniting that communication. So we came to heart space and then we said like, this is our intention. We would like to experience that alignment, soul over soul, source self, and we would like to start a communicative process. We are ready to learn. So we made that kind of statements, and these statements are actually setting intention for that. In the whole, maybe in the deep down, there is this sense of nothingness in all that. So your intention makes it so, not because we are talking about all that layers, the oneness, but actually multidimensional consciousness studies tells us there is nothing out there. It is all about your creation. And in that creation, you set the intention. And you set that intention in the heart space of yours. And you say everything, ask everything, and receive everything from that heart space, knowing that there is nothing out there. There's so much in there. And in that huge, acceptance, we go like, what am I going to do? Okay, let's choose. Let's make it so. Setting intention is setting intention for a practice, what you want to purify. Setting intention, this is my intention. This is my statement. This is my readiness. This is my openness, bringing words into it or channeling it with your just energy, with your feelings. But at the end of the day, setting intention is knowing that it is creation. So you are setting intention in the world of nothingness. That intention creates the happening. I don't know if I.
No, that's good. And so two people also asked I'm going to paraphrase, asked this question, and I'm curious about knowing a little bit more too. Who are your mentors? You say in your book, and you help us to do the same, to connect with higher beings, archangels and ascended masters and people like that, that are in these higher realms that we can reach in our consciousness. Who are they?
I have not mentioned Kuan Yin in my book, but Kuan Yin has been my main mentor along with Saint Germain. So they had different roles. I acknowledged Kuan Yin as part of my soul, my lineage. So my connection with her was that, direct connection of kind of bringing that two minds working together at the same time as one. So that was a blessing. And that was a lot of learning, a lot of compassion, because she is known as compassion Bodhisattva, compassion Buddha, or goddess of mercy in different traditions, in different texts. So she has also this very much huge divine mother, divine feminine energy connection with Mother Earth and humanity. So she wants to be a part of our journeys as a representative of the divine mother spirit. Divine mother meaning all that divine feminine, divine mother, or goddess spirit. So she is reaching us, helping us access to this system. These studies came out as, let's say, our common understanding, along with other feminine souls who were kind of giving us the guidance for creation, because Mother creates, and it is time for the creation of a new earth, creating a new earth. That means we need to open up to this creative role. In that way, I was being guided by Kuan Yin a lot, and Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. So they were divine beings, supported me in different ways. Of course, Ascended Master Christ, Saint Germain, Sanat Kumara, several Buddhas, Gautama Buddha, Amitabha, known as Amitabha, and archangels. I always felt like they had different roles. In our studies also, we build these connections like a teacher-student connection. So the person's source self connection is the central connection. These masters come into the process when there is a learning, a guidance related to their intelligence, their wisdom, whatever is they are presenting, manifesting in your life, maybe corresponding to learning with studying with Christ. Maybe what you are learning is corresponding with Saint Germain. So you will be connecting in that different ways. Of course, some people might have different guides, you know, they might not like working with guides. They can just study with their higher selves and be present to that self-connection. But I enjoyed having them around, always feeling their support and guidance.
That's interesting because I've not been too much into that, but now after dealing with you a bit, I I love some of the passages in your book, and here's what you say in one of the chapters. There are many light beings such as saints, angels, archangels, and Buddhas who are actively on duty in this field for the cause of helping humanity in its ascension and creation process. They are there to serve you in your journey, to communicate, interact, and collaborate with you. Help is not coming from above. You are making the journey by elevating yourself in your higher dimensional consciousness in gratitude for their support. And
Oh, yes,
I love
that. I hear.
and it sounds like we need to connect with them, which they really want. We elevate ourselves to make this connection. We have to meet halfway, so to speak, right? To get their wisdom and connection and love and all that. So how are we going to create the new Earth with this?
With this, I can't do it alone. I need
Just Nusra. No.
we need each other in that, because each one of us, we are unique in our designs. We are representing that whole consciousness, that one consciousness in unique ways. In each one of us, there is a wisdom, a purpose, a gift. As we grow and go into higher dimensional layers, we are actually kind of creating that flowers. These seeds are becoming these huge trees. These seeds are becoming huge trees. In our practices, you might know, Janice, we go and plant seeds in the playground. We have this in the higher dimensional layers. So in our school garden, so we put the seed and it becomes tree. We connect with that tree. So our mastery can awaken, and we can master who we are in our design in higher dimensional consciousness layers. If we make the journey consciously, deliberately, intentionally, in that way, we are awakening that creative consciousness. It is not just about, okay, let's align with 5D. Let's increase our hearts. Let's do ascension. Let's go into emptiness and be void. Let's become enlightened saints. That is kind of, yes, but it is, I think at the moment there is a purpose too, because there is a purpose for this age, for this humanity, because we have been here 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. We have been here in these processes in other lifetimes. This time the experience I understand and I receive from the Divine Mother Spirit and the Mother Earth is that we are here to create, master our creation skills. Maybe like this is like not about going back up to become enlightened and then just, maybe for some, I can't make it like a huge statement that binds everyone and that is relevant to everyone. But the main goal for this period, main teaching, main class, main school, what we are learning here, we are mastering the fact that we are nothing, so we can create. That is beyond what we can comprehend with our mind. Multidimensional consciousness is creating that kind of the energetics, that field, that system, which that is an intention. So its intention has been set in a way, in a world that doesn't exist. That system has been set with the intention setting was that humans practice their multidimensional mastery, and they discover, bring that multidimensional masters within them, and with that the purpose comes out, and that purpose is rolled on human realm. So we bring that down. We go up and we bring that down. So it's like, what is consciousness? What exists in the consciousness as dream, as intention, as understanding, comes down with us, and we manifest it as Earth. Not that there is a planet in the physical matter. So we go beyond the physics. Only mastery, only people who can, aware of that, can build up that mastery. Of course, we are part of it one way or other, but if we bring consciousness to it, our lifetime, for most of us, will align with the purpose. I would like to learn that I am the creator. I would like to, in that creator, there is nothingness, because you can only create if you come to an understanding that nothing exists. Creation is that, not changing the world. So in that whole going within and coming out with your dream and intention setting, putting your consciousness and energy to it, and also playing your part as human in the physical realm, you are bringing that purpose, the potential to realm. Of course, in the physical reality, we will see that so many things are changing, systems are updating, and some people will find it difficult to adjust, and we will hold space with loving and compassionate vibes. We will empower each other. This will be our human roles as humans. But this also comes from our higher dimensional presence to this layer. That is how I see that new Earth is coming. We are bringing the energies, bringing the consciousness, bringing those abilities. With that, we are awakening the power. With that power, there is authority. So you are understanding that we are one with Mother Earth. Then the dream changes. What we are reflecting is changing in relation to where we are, how much we are aware. So this is not something, visioning, the name of your group is, I think, perfect in terms of New Earth visioning, because in that vision, you are manifesting what is coming, and that makes it so. What we are doing is bringing that higher dimensional awareness and work to the equation, so that visioning happens. We do visioning on higher realms. In the higher dimensional layers of consciousness, we do visioning and we do intention setting for Earth, and then we ask what can be done. We receive guidance and messages.
So with the higher, when we go into a higher dimension of ourselves, of course, our visioning is much more powerful.
Definitely,
more
yes.
immediate,
Yes.
and all of that. So that's just very good for our group. And we go into that field, as you call it, that field within ourselves. And to quote another piece I love from your book, this space, the field, will serve those who will dream and bring in into being the Atlantis of the Golden Age, the new Earth. From this point forward, living chained in the 3 and 4th dimensional realities that are a projection of the mind is a choice, not an obligation. This space is open to all who choose it and align with its intent. It serves all regardless of their ethnicity, culture, religion, gender, education, financial power, or sexual orientation. I see the opening of the field as the end of the chained humanity in the matrix. And how many, it probably doesn't take that many of us, does it?
To free
the, yeah.
No, it is not about the numbers, I believe. Right. Because it is about it's like, because we are speaking from multiple layers, because we are saying that we don't exist. Earth is a projection, but also we kind of wonder how are we doing in this when we are in our human persona. So we are coming back and forth in that fluidity. So I don't think it is about numbers. It's about how many volunteers are so committed to bring the highest mastery possible. I think it's about and it is all in the design. They will know themselves, and then even without knowing what they're experiencing, maybe they will finally become aware of their roles. I think when they, this is how I see, if everyone has a task on the table, when you are awakened, that Mother Earth, I think, like I can exemplify it like that. Oh, okay, master of this and that is awakened now. She's waiting, like, for you to awaken, because and then you are bringing that balance, because with you, the energy, the wisdom, the authority, the power, the abilities are opening on the earth realm, in the whole consciousness. You blossoming, she is blossoming. Everyone has bringing that their design. Actually, we are manifesting as humans, but we are actually a kind of bulb of consciousness. So that higher realms are what are making us blossom. We are in our expanded self. So that is so loving and compassionate. And then when we bring that to Mother Earth, she goes like, oh my God, no, goodness, this master has got awakened now. And it's like a kind of bringing that power in that area. We have specializations, intelligence, that a role, that true self is, designed in a way that is, in that manifestation, we understand our connection with our true self. Yeah. This is who we are. This is what is in our design, not that we are different. It is just, this is how we are expressing.
So do you see, we have a couple of questions about the chaos out there, and maybe the world will destroy itself and things like that. What do you see in this regard?
When I look out there, what do I see in the physical reality, collective reality reflecting? I see, I have been connecting with some visions. Mm-hmm. I have received that Mother Earth was saying that about the chaos as well. If you don't want chaos, you have to forgive, release, and align with me quickly, as many as possible. So awaken, not just awaken, just release your traumas, because we are doing this shadow work, not just on the personal level, but also as a collective, we are releasing these traumas. Mother Earth loves that, because then we are lighter and more full of light. And we can kind of move with her to this higher sense of self, higher role, next evolution of our consciousness. So what I see is like that, it is happening. It has already happened. It has already happened. We are in this way, that way, we are kind of holding onto it like web, like, some of us holding with the right hand from the mother's skirts, hands, arms, some of us holding with left hand, some of us holding onto each other's shoulders, legs. So we are kind of there in that consciousness sphere, but we are also kind of attached in what it was. Mm-hmm. In that we are kind of torn, and there are so many people with so much good hearts and loving, compassionate lives, so many beings helping us, creating this huge field to hold space for those who cannot adjust to this new consciousness yet. So there is like huge space, holding space for each other. This is also very good for us, because we are mastering unconditional love and compassion. In that, chaos is being less chaotic. we need to hold space for each other in this fragmented reality that we are so many thousands and millions of people. In that perception, we should be loving, compassionate, and sharing, supportive, kind, understand that everyone is going through something, but also know that it has already happened, and we have a role as masters to visualize, to vision, and also like to bring that consciousness into our work, our presence, with our presence. Chaos is, I think, lack of forgiveness, lack of resistance, lack of releasing. Mother Earth says, like, I moved on. I moved on. Why are you stuck? Come and work with me. We have so much to do. In that realm, there's like huge things to experience. Also, I maybe share here as well that it is the school's vision. Our work is, we have a vision in my project, is that the Mother Earth is becoming a multidimensional school, not 5D, not 6D, a multidimensional school. That is whole project is kind of revolving around that vision. Mother Earth is becoming a multidimensional school, and humans are becoming multidimensional humans, merging with their oversouls, with their God selves on Earth in human persona. So the journey is not towards enlightenment, to that human persona becoming this multidimensional being in a multidimensional school and practicing the creation. Their God selves and human selves are together. So that is like a school is forming around us. In our project, we are just prototype to introduce what is we are going to align with as we go. And, you know, train people who want to hold space and train others to adjust to that.
I'm going to quote the last words of your book, which is so inspiring to me. I've read it many times. Okay. The Multidimensional Collective has been given the task to come up with the proposals. The multidimensional conscious field as a cosmic training zone and collaboration space expects your connection. You will be empowered. This is exciting. It might not be easy to believe that a happy Earth is on the way. We see one crisis after another. We wish for relief and stability, and we hear that there will be further struggles for us during the transition process. What is hard is to believe. Creation comes from the Creator's will, not from our analytical minds. It is not the job of the multidimensional collective to wonder how it will be. We should stop worrying about that part, because once the multidimensional collective makes the call, the cosmos moves to fulfill this intention. The grand project expects us to make our declarations and broadcast our visions. What do you want to bring forth? That almost makes me cry.
Thank you. I felt it, and I listened to it whenever you say, I listen to it like being given this class by the source. So it makes me smile and blessed. Thank you very much for sharing what you are sharing. That summarizes all multidimensional consciousness to bring humans to a higher layers of consciousness and bring out the master within themselves, because their intention, their declarations, because they are the purpose holder, they are the power holder, they are the authority. In that declaration, in that visioning, Mother Earth says, like, okay, you are my guy. Like, just say, like, create it with me. Yes, this is what I want. I want you to be empowered and know that power, authority, that you are a part of this process. In that intention, there is that creation power. That is, we don't need to ask further questions about. That is, the whole universe is waiting for it, because this is a project beyond us, our human understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Nusra, for all that you're doing, all the work you're doing, incredible work you're doing. She has workshops. I've been to 2 of them now, and they really lift us up to our multidimensional selves. She does it quickly. It's amazing. And thank you, thank you for being here and all the work you're doing. And we're like sisters. We're kind of doing similar things, aren't we?
Yes, I think we are connected on one level with you working. I think connected to the same vision, same purpose.
In our group here, yeah.
Group as well, and I really appreciate what you are doing. You are a role model with your enthusiasm, ambition, just excitement. You are inspiring. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to share with your group. I hope everything was clear. If there's any questions, they can always email me. I would be happy to support later.
Okay, and we might have you back sometime.
Okay. Oh, that would be wonderful. I understand. I mean, yes, that would be great. Maybe for a practice or focusing on one topics. Why not? That would be wonderful.
Okay, it would be wonderful.
Yeah, the gratitude to all our teachers. You know, what we are doing is always a blessing from them. We are messengers. We are just, representing, manifesting the source, the spirit, divine mother, divine father, the God, source, whatever you want to call it, cosmic consciousness, Mother Earth. It's just flowing through us, and we are blessed on the journey, and this is what we get. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Have a lovely day.
much. Bye.
Bye.